Welcome to the Sharpe Way show. Yes, it is 7 p.m. on the East Coast, which means I am here. Yes, you get to see my super handsome mug yet again. I'm so happy you came with me to see me this afternoon, this evening, depending upon where you are in the country. Please do me a favor, as always, like, comment, share. Please share this on your Facebook. Share this in your Twitter. Please retweet this. Please do that to the best of your ability. Let people know that we are out here rocking and rolling. It is nothing but good for us to bring our media ahead. If you've got the cash, please support the Sharpe Way. Patreon.com/SharpeWay if you can. If you don't have that kind of money, no worries. You can support one of my sponsors. Head over to theadvocates.org. Take the world's smallest political quiz and share your results with others and have those conversations. I would truly appreciate that. I talked this week about what's next, what's going to be happening coming up here. It's just going to be, they're going to be mandatory vaccines, or is it going to be, what's going to be happening here, right? What's the good deal here, right? Well, some people have been saying, other things, and the one thing I want to bring up real fast, if I could, is today is the Marine Corps birthday. So Marines, happy birthday. I'm Marine. It's my birthday. I'm 245 this year? I'm looking good for 200. It's 200, 245 this year. So yes, I'm looking really good for 245. Absolutely. So yes, thank you all for the happy birthday wishes. Happy birthday, Marines. But what's going to happen coming up here? What's the future look like? This weekend, there were a lot of different things that popped up. And one of the things I want to bring up, remember, this is the time when I look at what happened over the weekend and I bring some of these things up. And I'm going to do what people love for me to do, because you always love when I do this, but I'm going to do it again. I'm going to bring up my governor, His Majesty, King Andrew Cuomo II, all hail the king. I will bring him up and talk about what he's talking about right now. He was on Good Morning America this weekend. I think it was Saturday, Sunday, I forgot which one, whatever it was. Maybe it was yesterday, I don't remember. But here's what he talked about when it came to vaccines and Trump. Remember, vaccines are everything. Without vaccines, we're all going to die.
News now in the COVID crisis. Pfizer announced this morning that their two-shot vaccine is more than 90% effective in clinical.
So the two-shot vaccine that is more than 90% effective. Sounds amazing. Oh, my God. Weren't they talking about the vaccine all day long? So clearly, this is amazing, right? Sounds good.
Clinical trials. Let's talk about that now with New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo. Governor Cuomo, thanks for coming back.
Here we go.
Again this morning. We were talking yesterday about the importance of vaccine distribution in the next 2 months. What do you make of this news?
Tell me what's going to happen.
Well, it's good news, bad news, George.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. Good news, bad news? That can't be true. You were talking about the vaccine, and you let us know that when the vaccine's out, magic, everything goes away. So how can there be bad news? I'm not getting this. Your Majesty, please help me out.
The good news is the Pfizer tests look good, and we'll have a vaccine shortly. The bad news is
okay, that's good.
That it's about 2 months before Joe Biden takes over.
So it's 2 months before Joe Biden takes over. That's the bad news. So we should wait for 2 months, let some more people die, because you're telling me everyone dies, they don't get it. So until Biden can take credit for it. Maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. Let's hear the man out.
And that means this administration is going to be implementing a vaccine plan.
Okay.
The vaccine plan is very important, and it's probably the most ambitious undertaking since COVID began.
So it's the most ambitious undertaking this year. That's not crazy. That's not crazy. And in fact, to give Trump credit where credit is due, right? He gave it to the Army, right? He said, "Hey, General, here you go." And if you guys saw my last video when Cuomo did this, Cuomo said literally, well, why is he giving it to a general? What would a general know? What would a general know about sending people and material around the world? Everything? That's literally his job. That's what Army generals do. They literally send people and material all around the world. That's kind of what they do. I would bet that general knows more about this than probably anybody watching this show, is what I would guess. So, but, okay, maybe I'm wrong here. Let's keep going.
Just to put it in focus,
Tell me.
We did 120 million COVID tests in the.
Oh, so you know better than the general. That's what you're trying to tell me. You did 120 million tests. You did them yourself too, didn't you? You went out there yourself and did them. You were out there swabbing people's noses. Okay.
This nation over 7 months, scrambling, doing everything we can.
I'm gonna ask that question. Was this all these tests? Was that before you sent 7,000 elderly New Yorkers to their death in nursing homes, or was that after? I don't remember when that was. Was it before you sent them to their death or after? Must have been during the same time frame, I would assume.
We now have to do 330 million vaccinations,
right?
Maybe twice.
Yeah.
My state does more testing than any state in the United States.
So again, he didn't answer the question. He's just saying, look, we have to do all this stuff. And how can Trump or some army general move 330 million vaccines? What does an army general know about vaccinating the entire army more than once a year? I don't know. Everything. That's literally what they do. That is the general's job. Yes.
12 million tests. We have to do 20 million vaccines. And the Trump administration is rolling out the vaccination plan, and I believe it's flawed.
Okay, this is the problem. If he actually believed it's flawed, if he did, I actually would listen. But I think everyone, even people who support him, know it isn't about the actual vaccine plan. It's the fact that it's Trump's plan. We know this. And what drives me crazy here, look, dude, you win in the election. You're saying Biden's taking over. The media's with you. You've won. Let it go, man. But he can't. And he can't because of all the pain and problems that are going to happen. He has to be able to blame Trump for everything. Otherwise, he will have to accept what a bad governor he's been. He has to make everything that's happened Trump's fault, or he's actually a bad governor.
I believe it learns nothing from the past.
Nothing from the past.
They're basically going to have the private providers do it.
The private providers? Private providers? Like they've ever done anything good. I mean, he says it with disdain. Why? He's never had a private job. He's only worked for government his entire life. He can't even imagine that, I don't know, private providers, like people like, I don't know, give anyone who's ever done anything good in the private sector, like, I don't know, Amazon, or, I don't know, your local store that seems to always have the bagels you like. Everything from Amazon, the biggest, most powerful company on the planet, to the local store that's in your neighborhood that has, if you're New York, bagels. If you're not New York, I don't know, whatever your cool sandwich you have, but whatever. Somehow, that's literally impossible.
And that's going to leave out all sorts of communities that were left out the first time.
So the problem with the plan is it's going to be private people will give it out. And private people are going to absolutely somehow decide to leave out people. And that's what happened last time, because they left people out. It was Trump's reason, is the reason why all those people died.
When COVID ravaged them.
So what needs to be done that the Trump?
He didn't answer the question, which is normal. Stephanopoulos, why I rarely ever watch his show, is he's a terrible interviewer with terrible people. His show is garbage. And that's why you rarely see me put Stephanopoulos up. I only put Stephanopoulos up because he happened to get Cuomo. Cuomo won't go in any of the show because I actually treat him like garbage that he deserves to be treated. Stephanopoulos will give him kid gloves and say, okay, just say your stuff and I'll give you airtime.
Administration won't do that President-elect Biden could do.
Yeah, what could happen? Tell me, what's the difference?
Yeah, the Biden administration, when you deny a problem the way Trump did.
Note how he started. The Biden administration, I'm going to say some stuff, but then I realized I got nothing to say because all I know is Trump bad and Biden good because I want a job. So I'm just going to say Biden's awesome and nothing here.
You can never solve it. And
see, if you deny it, you can't solve it. But what Stephanopoulos actually asked you was, what could Biden do that Trump's not going to do? And what you said is Trump bad. We're still on Trump bad. Dude, the election was last week. We're still on Trump bad. Can we move on and figure out why Biden's supposed to be good? Let's do that instead.
That's true in life.
True in life. You are a philosopher. The stuff you say, I would have never known that. So what you're saying in life is if you ignore the problem, you can't solve it. You sure you are a psychiatrist, psychologist, something, therapist? You're amazing.
The Trump administration denied COVID, so they were never ready for it.
They denied it, so they were never ready for it. So if you deny it, you're not ready for it. That makes no sense whatsoever. You can deny it and then it happens, but you have to happen before you deny it. So it's fine. It just sounds bad, and you're saying Trump bad, which is perfect. Yep, Trump bad.
There was no mobilization of the government.
There was no mobilization of the government. I seem to remember, I live in New York City, a big ship coming into New York. I seem to remember that we got a bunch of ventilators. I remember that, but I don't know. Maybe it's me, but there was nothing. There was nothing. He just sat there and did nothing. The federal government just did nothing, denied it. They sat around. And you, though, you were out there doing COVID tests and swabbing people's noses.
And they're still doing the same thing.
Nothing. But didn't they get the vaccine done? But there's no mobilization. None. The election's over, man. Let it go.
They're going to take this vaccine and they're going to go through the private mechanism.
He has to keep saying the private mechanism, because that by default in his eyes is bad, because only government can do it right. That is how he actually thinks. Only government can do it right. That's it. And how will government do it? We'll find out. Mandate. We will force it.
Through hospitals, through drug market chains.
Oh, hospitals and drug market chains. Do you see the disdain he has for them? Rite Aid, CVS, Walgreens, hospitals, those losers. They're not me. That's literally what he's saying. Watch what he says.
Etc. That's going to be slow, and that's going to bypass the communities that we call healthcare deserts.
So this is what he just said. Be clear. That's going to be slow. When is the private market slow? Please, if anyone, when is that ever slow? You know what's slow? Government. Yeah. If you told CVS, here's a bunch of vaccines, here's a reason to bring people into your store, CVS, Walgreens, insert thing here, they don't go, nah, we don't want people in our stores. That's stupid. We're going to be slow on this. How many times have you seen different types of stores give stuff away for free to draw people in? Yeah, that's kind of what they do always. I don't see what that is. And then he says, it's going to bypass. Why? What we call healthcare deserts. Hey, homeboy, a healthcare desert has nothing to do with a Rite Aid or a CVS. Nothing to do with a Walgreens. Either he doesn't know that or he thinks we're stupid. It's probably both. So for those of you who don't know, a healthcare desert is where someone, when the average person is more than an hour away from healthcare, more than an hour away from a doctor or a physician or a PA or something like that. Who in New York State is more than an hour away from a CVS? Is there anybody? I mean, maybe there's someone who's more than an hour away from a CVS or a Walgreens. Maybe. But I don't think anyone in my entire state is more than an hour away from a CVS, a Rite Aid, or a Walgreens. I can't imagine that being true. And if there's like 9 people, you know what? Why don't you, instead of doing tests on people's noses, go deliver to them? How about that? You send your boys to deliver to them. I can't believe that he even says this garbage. And he didn't answer his question, which was, what could Biden do that Trump's not going to do? Remember, that was the original question. He didn't answer that at all. And Stephanopoulos, yeah, that's why your show sucks, Stephanopoulos, because you suck.
If you don't have a Rite Aid or a CVS, then you're in trouble.
Who doesn't have that within an hour? I mean, please, if you're in New York watching and you're actually more than an hour away from a CVS or a Walgreens or a Rite Aid, if you actually, please let me know. Please let me know. I can't imagine you're more than an hour away from a Rite Aid. This is what he does. He just makes stuff up, says it like it's true, assumes they're idiots, and sadly, so many people are just so afraid. They just go, yeah, these healthcare deserts, they're everywhere. No, they're not. They're really not. That's not true at all.
And that's what happened the first time with.
No, what happened the first time is you took thousands of elderly New Yorkers and sent them to their deaths in nursing homes. That wasn't Rite Aid. That wasn't CVS. That was you. You did that. Not Rite Aid, not CVS, not Walgreens. You did that. That's what happened the first time. I think you're confused. That's all right. You know, this has been a tough year for you. You got confused.
COVID. Why do we have such a disparity in the infection rate and mortality rate in COVID? Because some communities don't have the same access to health care.
Got it. So the reason why people of color got COVID and died was because Rite Aid wasn't there. That's what this man just said. This is our governor of New York, who we voted in 3 times. He just said he just said it. I'm not making this up. You watched it. You heard him. He just said the reason why, these people of color and poor people, why they died of COVID, it's because they didn't have CVS around the corner. They'd have had that. Easy peasy. That's the issue. He actually said this. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm sure the Biden administration is going to address that. I think his first step saying
he's going to address that. He's going to build more CVSs. He's going to build more Rite Aids. We're going to have New York State Rite Aid. Is that what we're going to do?
Let's focus on the science.
Let's focus on the science. I thought we had to focus on Rite Aids and CVSs and Walgreens. What's this? Where'd the science? We just got the vaccine. Isn't that literally focusing on the science? Is there another way to focus on the science better than finding a vaccine? I don't think so.
Depoliticize.
You're not politicizing it, see, because you never do that. You are not in any way saying that the reason why the vaccine's bad is because it's the Trump vaccine, and only because you actually said it. The bad part is it's 2 months before Biden takes over. You said the quiet part out loud. You probably shouldn't have said that. You gave your whole shtick away off the bat. See, that's the reason why it's bad, because it's during Trump's administration. If this same administration if this same vaccine had come out 2 months from now, under the Biden administration, he'd be like, this is the greatest vaccine ever. If you don't take it, you're a fool. Oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever. You're going to take this and you're going to watch your hair grow back. You're going to watch your colds go away. Your gray hair is going to go away. Everything.
Data. Listen to the science is the exact opposite of
the opposite of Trump. So, okay, if he didn't listen to the science, how did he get the vaccine? He was just guessing. I don't know how that worked. If he wasn't listening to science, I don't know.
Trump, but you have 2 months, and we can't let this vaccination plan go forward.
Oh, you got to. But wait a minute. I thought he just said we can't let it go forward. Why? Did he give any single thing? Now, when he asked him, why is it bad? No answer. He asked him, what would Trump do? Right? What Biden did that Trump wouldn't do? No answer. He just said, Trump bad. Trump really bad. Trump so bad. Oh my God, Trump bad. You all know Trump bad. That was everything he said. I'm not bad. I'm not my fault because Trump bad, so I'm not bad. That's what he just said. And then he said, we got to wait 2 months. Wasn't he the one saying we have to have the vaccine in 5 minutes or we're all going to die? Now we got to wait 2 months. Why? Because we can't let Trump have any credit because then I'm a bad governor. Yes, this is how personally vindictive this man is.
the way the Trump administration is designing it.
Of course.
Because Biden can't undo it.
Oh, look at that smirk. Because then Biden can't undo it. Because, once you put like vaccines in a truck, that's it. You can't just go, hey, driver, stop. No. The second you put vaccines in the truck, you can't do it. You cannot tell CVS, stop giving out the vaccine. Can't do it. There is literally no way the President of the United States could stop the vaccine plan. You're hearing it. This isn't. Is it me? Am I not hearing this? That's what he just said. You can't stop it. Why? Call up the guys. Stop. They call their guys up. They stop. That's pretty simple. You know what's funny? You can't stop it, but you can shut my entire state down, can't you? You had no problem with that. You had no problem shutting my entire state down. That was a snap for you. But stopping CVS from selling vaccines, it's impossible. Can't be done.
Months later, we'll be in the midst of it.
And we'll be in the midst of people who want the vaccine getting the vaccine. How horrible. Oh, how terrible. People who want the vaccine could go to CVS and get it. Oh my God.
I've been talking to governors across the nation about that. How can we shape the Trump administration vaccine plan to fix it?
That's brilliant. We should shape the vaccine plan to fix it. That sounds amazing. But you'd have to actually know what the plan is first and be able to tell us kind of what it is. And you don't. You just know it's Trump's plan. So all you really want to do is make one tweak, change the name to the Cuomo plan, and then it'll be a great plan. That's what will actually happen. They'll make one or two tweaks, call it the Cuomo plan, and say, see, so amazing.
Or stop it.
Stop it! But I could have swore all this summer, all he was saying every day almost on TV is, this vaccine's killing people. I'm sorry, this virus is killing people. Everybody's dying. Everybody's dying. The world's ended. We need a vaccine. The Lancet's a vaccine. Now he's like, oh, no, I was kidding. No, we don't need that. This vaccine's bad, and we got to stop it. And here's what we have to stop it. Be clear. This is what he's saying. We got to stop it because it might miss some people. So everybody should die because we might miss some people who are over 60 minutes from a CVS or a Rite Aid. So the 25 people in my state, and that's probably too many to say that, but the 25 people in my state who are more than an hour from a CVS or a Rite Aid, we should stop the plan. Or you can simply identify the people, the 25 people who are more than an hour away, and deliver to them. You could do that. Or just ask them to drive more than an hour. That could be something too. I mean, there's many ways that you could do this, but no, stop it. Stop it.
Before it does damage.
And
what's the damage? Please tell me, where did we see the damage? You know where the damage is? If there is any, it will be on forcing the vaccines, which is what you would do. If there was any damage or will be any damage, it will be in you doing a vaccine mandate. And for those of you who don't know, in my state, New York State, the New York State Bar Association has come out with a resolution which says, regardless of personal preference, regardless of your religious exemptions, the COVID-19 vaccine should be mandatory. Yes, lawyers in New York State, who you would think at least one of them on the bar would be a constitutional lawyer who would at least understand First Amendment rights. Clearly, I'm wrong on that one, but you would think that they even said so. And that's what he's going to go, but he's going to use that. He obviously planted that. So now he's going to use that as his reason to create a mandate. And when people have bad reactions from the mandate, because it's only 90% effective, there are, give or take, 18, 19 million New Yorkers. That's a lot of people it's not going to work for. That's a lot. So he says do no damage. I think he'll do damage. Or he might be worried. He might assume that there's no damage unless you send thousands of New Yorkers to their deaths in nursing homes. That I would say is damage, right? That's obvious damage to me. But allowing people who want to get the vaccine to go to your local drugstore to get the vaccine, where's the damage? He literally just made that up. That is fabrication. That's all that is.
An emergency right now. We're seeing the cases rise across.
Yeah. Oh, whoa. Did I see a little bit of pushback from Stephanopoulos? A little bit. He went, but wait a minute. You just said it's an emergency. We're seeing the cases increase. Shouldn't we rush for the vaccine?
The country going to cross over 10 million at some point today if we haven't already. Even New York, which had been below 1% positivity for so long, now climbing above 2.
Yep. So there's a little pushback. Watch this stain on his face, and then watch him completely dodge the question.
Well, I feel good. New York is the third lowest in the nation. Okay.
See, third lowest in the nation. So it's over? Why do we even need the vaccine then?
Okay. We learned over the past 7 months, we're not in denial. We get it.
Yeah, we got it from you, all right. We so got it from you. Man, did you give it to us. And we were begging you to stop, and you wouldn't stop giving it to us. Wow, did we get it? Yes, and you're still giving it to us. We've been begging you to stop. Boy, we keep getting it. That's true.
And our infection rate is very, very low nationwide. Only Vermont and Maine, I think, have a lower infection rate, and they're more rural states, et cetera. But you have to control the virus. You know, this is not really unknown.
It's not. You have to control the virus. So with a vaccine or force?
We've all had a virus in our home.
That's
George.
true.
You know, we know how to.
I had like the flu or something. It's true. I think most people have this. See, he's giving us some of his words of wisdom again. I feel like I'm on my pappy's lap. And there's a fire going, and he's giving me some old school words of wisdom. We've all had viruses in our home.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
You isolate people who have a virus.
We isolate them? Is that what we do when my kid is the flu? I isolate them? Okay.
You do the testing. You follow.
Oh, then I do at-home testing for the flu? I do that? I'm messing up. I don't isolate my kid and then do flu testing. I don't do that. I must be missing something.
The data. And
then I follow data. That's what I do. Okay. I don't remember any of that, but we all who doesn't isolate their kid, give them a flu test, and then, follow data. Of course we all do that. God.
You put in restrictions.
Then I put in restrictions on my family. I order my wife to not go out, I guess. And if she doesn't, then I fine her. Is that what happens? Yeah. Then I fine her, and I don't let I guess I put my kids in jail? Something. Who doesn't do that?
And government has to step up.
Government does step up when my kid gets the flu. I guess. I don't know what he's saying. He literally just strung together a bunch of sentences that made nothing to do with nothing because he couldn't answer the question.
You need a national mask mandate.
So when my kid gets the flu, which is the virus in the house you just spoke about, we should then make a national mask mandate. And I know how to handle that. So I guess I order it. I don't know what he's saying. He just threw a bunch of string of words together and said, "See, Stephanopoulos, what's wrong with you? It's simple. Follow the science."
And when you see the virus starting to flare up, we call them microclusters.
Right. When I see the microclusters in my home, didn't he just say we all know how to handle it in our house? And then he went to microclusters, and what is he saying? Remember the original question was, it's flaring up. It's going to be bad. Don't we want a vaccine? And he's like, well, no, we can fix this just by making sure, government steps in your house and creates mandates and punishes you some more because we get it. And he's been giving it to us. Yeah, he has. We've been getting it. Please stop giving it to me. Please stop. So he's going to keep giving it to us. Government will step up, lock the entire state down again, destroy our economy even worse, make more New Yorkers flee my state to where there's no way we can ever fix anything. He will put my state in the verge of bankruptcy, which is already on, and then he'll go join the Biden campaign, I guess.
We do so much testing that we can see it in a neighborhood. Then you bring in restrictions to close down activity in that neighborhood.
See, that's why in the world would you allow Pfizer to give the vaccine to an army general whose job literally is moving, soldiers and material around the world? That's his literal job. Why would you give him that so that he could get it out to all the CVS's, Rite Aids, and drugstores, of which no one is more than 60 minutes away? And that is not even part of what a healthcare desert is, to allow people who want the vaccine to go get the vaccine. Why would you do that when you could instead keep testing people, use government force to shut down neighborhoods, to shut down all activity? He thinks that's a better option than giving his opponent any credit at all. If you think I was wrong or I misunderstood him, please comment and show me how wrong I am. That is exactly what I heard that he said openly right on TV. And we elected this guy 3 times in a row.
I understand that politically it's difficult.
It wasn't difficult at all for you. For who? Who were you talking to? Is there someone else who's in charge of New York? Are you asking me my opinion? I'm going to go with no. Don't do that. So I don't think you're asking me. It's not politically difficult. You won 3 times in a row. You're beating the crap out of this state. It's really easy for you. And you've done it more than once. You keep doing it. It's not politically difficult. You've just, again, made that up because you feel our pain, I guess.
But that's what you have to do. You see a little flame.
Then what?
You stamp it out.
Stamp it out with that government boot. Yeah. That was a Freudian slip.
We're doing that all across the state.
Yeah, you are.
You will see through the fall the number going up nationwide. That is going to happen.
Or it's going to happen. Or you could rush the vaccine that you told me is so important.
Scientists said that was going to happen.
Yep.
It's going to be managing the infection increase, which is going to be the challenge.
Got it. So I think what you could do probably is send a bunch of old people to elderly people to a nursing home. That'll solve it. You did it before. Maybe you could do it again. And then now Stephanopoulos will now kiss his butt, kiss his ring.
Cuomo, thanks very much for your time this morning.
Thank you for saying absolutely nothing. Yes, thank you for saying absolutely nothing. I'm so glad I gave you a half hour to promote yourself. Not even at 5 minutes. It felt like a half hour because of how bad it was. This is what we're up against. We're up against the election's over, guys. I know some of you still think there's going to be problems and issues and concerns, and there might be, but the election's over. The media does decide who the president is, and I know that makes some of you fume because it's not legal. And you're right. I'm not fighting you on that. You're right. It's not legal. Legally, only the Electoral College can decide who the president is. That's the legal issue. I'm just saying reality. That I really think it's over. I could be wrong, but I think it's over. And anyone who doesn't think so gets looked at like this. I'm gonna give you a quick spot. This is from John Oliver's Last Weekend Tonight, and this is if you think that anything's wrong with the election, this is how you are going to be painted if you aren't already.
The Biden crime family stealing the election.
This is you.
The media's covering up. The Biden crime family stealing this election. The media's covering it up. The Biden crime family.
This is how they're going to portray you. I'm not saying that's you. I'm saying that's how the media is going to portray you. This is what I mean by the election's over. That becomes you. I would rather that not be you. I would rather that not be you. That's kind of where that's going right now. But in any case, that's what everyone's going to make everyone who wants look like. That's what's going to happen. So I think it's over, and all I hear is people still getting angry. Let me grab a couple comments if I could, and then I'll move on if I can. Yes. The vaccine is only good when Sleepy Joe gets in. That's accurate, Pete. We just saw that. Yes. Because the only thing he said that was bad about his vaccine is, well, Trump. That's the bad part. The rest is fine. Just the Trump part. That's the bad part. He couldn't give us another answer. And my biggest worry about this is I want them to go through the private sector because I don't want it mandated. I think if you want a vaccine, please go get the vaccine. Please. Absolutely. Make it available at CVS's and Rite Aids and get them, particularly if you think you're at risk or you're concerned. Please get the vaccine if you want to. My worry is the reason why he won't put it in private hands is because you won't be able to mandate. The average person's not going to force it. But will government agents? Yes. It has to go through the government so it can be mandated because government agents absolutely will. Yes, they will force it. Vaccine's only good if Dems are in power, according to His Majesty. Yes, correct. Oh, hail the king. Absolutely. Go on, look up Pfizer on Open Secrets. You'll see how much they paid Biden and Democrats. Look, I don't doubt any of that, right? And I don't even know if Pfizer will make much money directly on this. I have no idea. My gut says directly they won't make much money. Directly. I'm very clear. Indirectly, I think they make a killing on this. The amount of good press they get, the influence they get with politicians to create more laws and rules and regulations. I think they will make a ton of money indirectly. I think they'll actually make very little directly, but they're not doing it because they love you. They're doing it because in the long run, they'll make tons of money. I think they will. Yes. Lol, I don't think he did everything he could. Yeah, no, I'm not sure anyone did, to be forward. I'll get it. And that's my choice. Just like if others choose not to. Exactly, Paul. Yes. Get the vaccine. Make it available. You want it? Go get it. 100%. Please do what you feel is right for your health. Please do that. Absolutely. Yes. Yes, Rebecca. Somehow every year flu vaccines get rolled out. I don't remember people going, oh my God, since I'm black, I can't get a flu vaccine. I don't remember that. Ever. I don't remember that. But maybe I'm wrong. So let's see if I can grab this. COVID-19 has a 99% survival rate, but that's not high enough to keep us from losing our minds. But when the vaccine's 90% safe, that's plenty safe enough. Valid point. That's math. Why don't you just follow the science, Jonathan? God, just follow the science. That's just my go-to when I want to be dismissive of people. I just yell, follow the science. I don't actually care about the science or it doesn't make any sense. I just yell at people and go, follow the science. And now I feel better about myself, and I've hopefully made you feel bad. I'm kidding, obviously. Yes. So, Larry, what do you think about the possibility that Cuomo has been using scorecard and Hamilton election results in New York State, New York City? I don't know what that is, so I don't know. Let me do some homework on that and see. I don't think he has to. I mean, I guess it's possible. I don't know, but I don't think he has to. There's a lot of New Yorkers who just want to vote for him. I see it all the time. I cross this state. I see people who think he's doing a fine job again and again and again. Again and again and again. Absolutely. I'm going to be calling it a Tappan Zee Bridge, the Impeach Cuomo Bridge. I like that. The ICB, the Impeach Cuomo Bridge. I like that. And that's what America is all about. Choices. Just because I won't get it doesn't mean my husband won't. And that's what I love about America. We all have our own choices. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. And it's okay. That's a good thing. Look, I hope the vaccine is the magic bullet and it saves everybody. I hope it is. And if it is, people start taking it. Others will say, you know what? It works. Let me go take it. Good. I hope it is the magic pill. I really do. So I have shitty bagels, but I get you. Yes, but you know what I mean, Steve. You know what I mean. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Those evil private providers, Google, Apple, Disney, Walgreens, CVS, etc. They never do anything right, do they? Oh, boo. Yes, absolutely. Agree with you about Stephanopoulos. I know his show's bad. It's a bad show. It's rare that I ever put Stephanopoulos on Sharpe Way. He happened to have Cuomo. Chris Wallace is a better show. Fareed Zakaria has a better show. So even Bill Maher is a better show. I mean, they get better guests and they ask better questions, and you get better info out of all three of those shows compared to Stephanopoulos. His show is just trash. It's garbage. So, and I haven't watched Meet the Press in years, but it used to be a garbage show. Meet the Press was just come on and say your talking points and walk away. I don't know if that's still true, but it was just terrible. So I don't watch that show anymore. Maybe I should go back to it and look at it again. So, can't the county health department pick up with the private doesn't if they want it? Julie, yeah, right. Again, look, if there are some counties in New York State, and I can't, I mean, the largest county in New York State, if I'm not mistaken, is St. Lawrence County. I think that's physically the biggest county in New York State, if not mistaken. I think that's right, St. Lawrence County. The idea that we couldn't get the vaccine to people who wanted it, I mean, even people in St. Lawrence County, no matter how sparse they might live, Hamilton County is the smallest population-wise, about 4,500 people, give or take, the entire county. Even if the people of Hamilton County, if they are more than an hour away from a drugstore, and maybe they are, I mean, it's possible. I don't remember every single part of Hamilton County. It's possible they are. You're telling me we can't send them a letter and say, hey, show up at this CVS at this time. We'll send a bus for you. The county health department will stop by your house if you want it. There are so many ways of fixing this if you want it and you're that far away. If you're ill and you can't get to a CVS, you can't pick up the phone and call the 911 and say, hey, I'm ill. I want the vaccine. Can you please have somebody come send it to me? Of course you could. Of course. The local VFW would do it for you. I'm not even joking. Literally the local VFW would say, yeah, they'd get a former Marine or probably a corpsman from the Army or Navy, and they'd go out and come in and take care of you. Of course that would happen. Absolutely. Yes. So how bad is it that Cuomo forgot all the help Trump gave him with the respirators and PPE and the ship? The ship! That's my point, Kathy. A naval vessel came into the harbor. And you forgot that? Didn't mobilize anything. Yeah, absolutely. Trump adds old news. But Rebecca, it's not going to be. See, this is a prep. This is a prep for next year when things are really bad. And he's got to validate running for office again. He's got to have a reason that he can go back and go see all Trump's fault. That's the problem, all Trump's fault. That's what this actually is. This is a setup for the whole thing. Absolutely. Yep. Yep. Nailed it. Orange man bad. That's all it is. 100%. I am hyped, John. I am. Every time I get Cuomo, I get hyped. You know that. Every time. It's my governor. I got to deal with this every day. This is where I live, right? Some of you live in New York and you know my pain, right? Some of you don't, and you kind of know my pain, but yeah, absolutely. All COVID deaths, Orange Man's fault. Yes, every one of them. In fact, Pete, if your car doesn't work tomorrow, you know what? That was Trump. That was Trump. He came in, cut your wires or something, because he was like, I'm going to get that Pete guy. That was Trump. He did it 100%. Nothing better to do. So he's going to come put a hole in your muffler so it's loud. He'll do that. Probably. Yep. So, yes. And that big ship sat empty. Yes. And that big ship sat empty. It did. 100%. It wasn't even used. 100%. I get it. Yes. All right, I'm trying out watching from Twitter. How do I look? Hey, if you're in, you're in it. I see you. So obviously it worked. Yes. Andrew valiantly paddled out to his ship out of dry dock and into the harbor himself. Everybody knows. I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. Andrew, yes, he did. He did. He was doing first he did a couple of tests first, swabbed some noses, got some testing, got the results, then helped some poor people, and then he swam out. That's what he did. It's true. Yep. Your own doctor is bad now? Yeah. These hospitals and medical facilities, they're not government agents. I can't force them. Absolutely. Yes. So, you sound like Obamacare. I'm not sure who that was for. It's kind of like that. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, absolutely. So, see if I can keep going here. Whoops. Government took 2 months to make tests. Private industry took 2 days. Thank you, Jody. Yes, because you know who's slow? Private industry. Of course. Absolutely. Yes. Takes a longer yes. It takes longer at DMV than the bank. Also true. Absolutely. Yes. All right. Rite Aid and CVS do a great job getting flu vaccines out for free or next to nothing. Yes, that's my point. They want to bring you in so you'll, whatever, buy some candy or buy some aspirin or, buy some whatever, whatever CVS is selling today, right? Buy some flowers where I am. Actually sell flowers there. But whatever, buy whatever CVS is selling. Of course, they want people to come in. They will be happy to give the vaccine away for free to draw people into their store because the odds are a lot of people go to the store to get the vaccine. They'll buy something else, right? They'll buy whatever else they need. They'll buy some aspirin. They'll buy some Tylenol, whatever the case may be. They'll pick it up. Yes. Yes, they distribute. They already do this. This is something they already know how to do. I don't know. Yes, absolutely. Yes. So more than an hour away, you meant the people least likely to get COVID. Jody, perfect. Yes. If you're more than an hour away from a CVS or a Walgreens or something, what are the odds that you're going to get COVID? Oh my God. Exactly. 100%. Yes, absolutely. This is better than any roast I've ever seen. I don't know. I do this sadly often. Maybe it's not sadly, but I do it often. Every time I do that. Yes. So no one in New York is that far away. That's coming from way upstate. Yes, I know. Even upstate, right? I mean, even upstate in the areas that I know there are many rural areas in New York State. For those who don't live in New York, I know some people who live outside of the state think all of New York is New York City. It's not, right? But many people don't know. But even in upstate areas, more than an hour away from a CVS or a Walgreens, that's a tough one. Some people maybe are, but wow, no, not even upstate. You drive an hour, you get to a Walgreens or a CVS somewhere, and almost any place in New York State. Absolutely. So, all right. If they're an hour away from drugs, they're probably not going to be infecting people either. Yes, that's correct. Yes, absolutely. 100%. I kid you not, some areas have 2 CVS stores across the street. Yeah, I actually, in Astoria, Queens, where I live, this is obviously New York, but we had a CVS on one side, and they were moving. So they had to buy a building or a lease, get a lease in another building. Get a lease in the building across the street. So they actually had 2 CVSs open. They waited for one of the leases to end. So you had a CVS across the street from each other until the one lease ended, and then they moved everything up to one. Yes, absolutely. Yes. So, I mean, it might take me an hour if I walk there slowly. Yes, if I walk there slowly, maybe. There's like 4 CVS within 15 minutes of my house. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about here. Tim lives in a rural area, and he's 10 miles away in 2 different directions. That's not over an hour. That's not over an hour at all. Yes, at all. So he moved people with COVID upstate. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I'm within 45 minutes of 3 Rite Aids, 12 CVSs, 5 Walgreens, 4 private pharmacies, and the 15 Publix/Walmarts. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. Yes. Easy peasy and me laugh out loud. I aim to please, Christopher. Absolutely. Yes. Come on, man. You are former U.S. public globalist authoritarian demon rats. Come on, man. You are. I think you're trying to say, come on, man. You are for UN puppet globalist authoritarian demon rats. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you saying that I support Democrats? I don't know any that I've supported recently. I mean, in the past, I probably would or could have in the past. Now, I don't know. Do I support any? I don't think so. I guess I could in theory if there was one that was, only was on a 1 issue or 2 issue Democrat. Maybe I could in theory, but as a general rule, I don't think I have. I don't see myself doing that. And are you saying I'm a UN puppet globalist authoritarian, or that I just support them? I don't think I support them at all. But thank you for commenting. I appreciate it. Yes. I live in a town in Illinois that has 75,000 people. There's like a Walgreens CVS in every corner. Yes. Let alone Walmarts, Myers. I can't imagine New York has less. No, you're right, Tom. Absolutely. Yes. 100%. Yep. I live in a town in North Carolina. I lived in a town in North Carolina with 600 people. We had 2 drugstores. Yeah. Absolutely. Yep. 100%. Sheep masters, try to find your, I don't know what that is, and backbones if you only wear it to cause. AB, I don't know what you're saying. I think you're mad, and I get your anger. I hope you'll keep listening because I get what you're talking about. I get your fear and your frustration and your anger. Stay here. We cover this often. I'm going to cover some more. Stay around, brother. Don't leave. Stay. Wasn't the vaccine made by the private sector in response to a market need? And I thought it was supposed to take years, Lyndon, and it didn't. It took less than a year because that private market, too damn slow, never works. Absolutely. Yep. 100%. Wait 2 months as more people die. Yes. So either, and I'm okay either way, but the problem is he will do either this isn't that important and it isn't the cure-all to everything, and we can control COVID without the vaccine. That's option one. Or let's get the vaccine out right away because it's a problem. He said neither. Total dodge. Stephanopoulos did not hold him feet to the fire at all. Didn't even ask a follow-up question. Nothing at all. Either, look, if you're going to tell me that, look, I exaggerated, I was wrong. Cuomo saying I was wrong. Clearly, I'm in the fantasy world. But in theory, Cuomo would say, look, I was wrong. I went too far. Now that I see the science, it's not as bad as I thought it was. We can wait on the vaccine. At least I could respect that, even if I didn't believe. If I believed him, that at least is something that a human could say. I was wrong. I made a mistake. We should have done it. Okay. Or I don't care if it's Trump or Biden. The vaccine matters. Get it out there. Neither. Either of those at least would be intellectually honest. I made a mistake, or get it out there. But if you go back 2-3 months, maybe a month even, all he was doing was yelling about getting a vaccine now. So, yes, we have one egotistical governor. Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Yes. Working in a bookstore, Cuomo's book has been collecting dust. Not sure he should be writing a book on good leadership. I'm glad to hear that. Yes, I'm glad to hear that. Yes. So, meanwhile, New York cases are rising again. Probably shouldn't have wrote the book so soon. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's actually reading the book anyway. I don't even know. Maybe. The entire pandemic would have been different if half the country wasn't using it as an anti-Trump theater. Heather, I think you brought up a very valid point, right? The piece that gets me so angry about this is that this was politicized. And everyone said it wasn't. Like, everyone who was politicizing it blamed the other for politicizing it. This should have just been a health crisis, and we should have dealt with it. That's it. But once it becomes a war or the other guy's bad, then it becomes either nothing or the end of the world. And COVID was neither of those. It wasn't nothing, and it wasn't the end of the world. But one side said, it's Armageddon. The other side said, nah, whatever, we'll get over it. Both were the wrong answer. It was a virus that we should have dealt with. And we shouldn't have sent thousands of elderly people to their deaths in nursing homes. That we shouldn't have done. That we should not have done. Yes. So, all right. It was always a guy with "Come on, man" scream name. Oh, that's who you're talking about. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, this wasn't for me. Thank you. Okay. Yes, the "Come on, man" guy, he's like a Biden supporting libertarian. That was for him. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. Oh, good. All right. That's who you were talking to. Thank you. I'm glad you're still here. I love that. I'm glad you're still here. They must be in Florida. I don't know where that was, actually. I actually don't know where that was. So, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And now I get it. He's responding to commentators. Okay, good. I get it. No worries. All good. All right. So, Jay, I'm not taking any vaccine. I get it. Some people aren't. No worries. But I want it to be available for people who want it, right? Some people, this is the right answer. I want to make sure that that it's available, right? I don't want anyone to decide whether you or me or anybody else should take it. It should be there, and you should decide if you want to take it or not. Totally up to you. Absolutely. So, all right, I want to do a couple more if I could, real fast. If I could, if you don't mind. There's something else I want to bring up. And this is actually, this is Buttigieg on Fox News Sunday. And they're asking him about the mandate for action, right? The mandate, right? How are we going to make things happen, right? This is a mandate now. And if you've watched what I've said in the past, this election wasn't a mandate, right? But if you ask these people, maybe it was.
The next president. But also, we should remember that those who supported him and a remarkable number of President Trump's supporters support the agenda that Joe Biden is going to lead our country forward with.
And I would ask you, what's that agenda? Crickets. I don't know. In
other words, the idea of getting serious on COVID and having a science-led approach, which is
science-led approach, like a vaccine. Just saying, guys, just saying.
Already underway on. The idea of raising wages and protecting workers and making sure corporations and the wealthy pay their fair share in taxes, taking climate seriously, doing something about racial justice. As we look forward, whether we have divided government or not.
This is the part that I bring up constantly. I'm not sure any of that's true. I feel like, maybe you disagree. I know some people here watching are Trump supporters. I feel like this was an election that said, if you don't like Trump, vote Biden. That's what I feel it was. And I think Trump shot himself in the foot in two separate ways. The number one way is he wouldn't get off Twitter. The amount of New York City Republicans that I talk to, and New York City Republicans are not hardcore Republicans. Well, some are, but most aren't. Most are more moderate Republicans. And those are the people who turned on Trump. The hardcore Republicans voted for Trump, right? The hardcore Trump supporters did. But those who did, that piece didn't. What they would constantly tell me is, man, I wish he'd stop tweeting. Why don't some take away his phone? Blah, blah, blah. That was a constant thing. And I think he just wouldn't get off the tweeting, and he sounded mean. He sounded petty. He sounded nasty. And politics is emotional. And people didn't like it, and they turned on him. And the second thing I think Trump did very poorly is he didn't talk about, look, this is what I said I'd do. This is what I did. That's it. If you ask most, and I'm looking at, look, hardcore Trump supporters voted Trump. Done deal. He got those. Those who were going to vote anyway. The people in the middle were the ones he didn't grab. Enough of them, I should say. He didn't grab enough of them. And a lot of them that I know here in New York, they were like, I like the guy because he just says what he feels. He tells it like it is. He just straight talk, right? And he didn't do that. He didn't change. He didn't change his campaign effectively at all. That's one of the reasons why he lost. And I think the Biden people saw that smartly. I will give them total credit where credit is due. They saw that and said, we can just sit here. He's not running a good campaign. We'll just sit here and we'll win this thing. And they were right. So but you ask Buttigieg, he doesn't have anything to say. He doesn't know what's the policy. It's getting serious on social justice. It's the same stuff every Democrat's been saying forever. But they still won. So, but I don't think they have an actual mandate in my view. I think Republicans don't have a mandate. Democrats don't have a mandate. We have a don't be bad. That's all we have. Don't be bad. I want to grab Tucker Carlson real fast. Tucker, was it yesterday, before yesterday? He is hooping and hollering because he's worried. Fox News is scared. Fox News is scared that they're going to lose their viewers if they don't jump on a Trump train. Man, is it obvious. I mean, this is a problem, right? I was just talking about this in another podcast I was doing. The Democrats and Republicans, as they were desperate to just get voters on their side, so many people were. The Republicans just took anybody who would jump on their side, and so did Democrats. Anybody. Fox News took anybody. CNN took anybody. Protesters, rioters, violent people. CNN was like, you're my buddy because I need the viewers. Fox News, anybody. You got you. What does it matter? Come on my. I got you. Come to my side. But now, if they go against Trump now, they're worried they might lose their viewers. People might go to OAN or whatever the case may be. They're in a spot now.
Now, we've heard you. We're grateful that you trust us, and we will try to be worthy of your trust.
Hear that? He's like, guys, don't leave us. Sounds like me telling people not to leave. This guy's like, don't leave us.
We want to begin tonight by assessing some of the things, no doubt, you have heard about last week's presidential election. There are conflicting versions of virtually every part of that story. But as of right now, here's what we think we know.
There we go. Now, all of a sudden, and I bring this up not because I want you to watch Tucker or not, but did you hear that intro? That intro is an intro of fear. They're worried. I think CNN is going to be too, right? Once CNN is no longer the bash Trump channel, and it has been for about 4 years, it's tough to repivot. And Fox too. Fox has been the pro-Trump channel for 4 years. How do you pivot off of that? And usually the pivot's easy. And you might say, well, Larry, they pivot all the time. The problem is now people have so many more options. That's the issue. If you're a media outlet, look at the number of kids who don't actually watch TV anymore. The youth who only watch the internet, who don't watch television anymore. if they can't watch, Fox News on the computer, they can't watch it. They can't watch CNN on the computer. They're not going to watch it. They have places to go now. So, I mean, Fox News, people can go to OAN. They can just go, take off. CNN, you can go back to MSNBC again. You can leave. Now, I mean, so how do you now pivot when there are so many other options? I think they're scared. And I think you're going to see a change right now in how in how they act. They're worried. They're afraid. They don't know how to act. It is definitely an issue. Absolutely. So let me see if I can grab this stuff here. Let's see if I can grab a couple of these comments. Guys, thank you so much, by the way, for spending all this time and energy here. I do appreciate it. And taking me hooping and hollering, all day long. So yes, see if I can grab a couple of these. Well, a lot of comments. Thank you so much. Larry saying he's running 2022 or 2020 will make my day. I'll decide next summer. So I will give you an answer, Matthew, next summer. Absolutely. Yes. I think whoever runs for president of the Liberty Party should do so 2 years in a row. You mean 2 times in a row? Yeah, maybe. I think it depends what they do, right? I think that's it. Depends how well they do. It does work sometimes. Yep. So do you think the king will go to D.C. as the AG? I think right now that's in discussion right now. And that's one of the reasons why Cuomo is trying to play the Trump card. Because if he's not going, then he's got to be able to blame somebody for his ineptitude as governor. He's going to blame Trump literally 2 years from now. He's going to be blaming Trump 2 years from now. Absolutely. So, yes. You don't have to reconvince the same people who already loved you and kept drumming up new. Yeah. And yes, absolutely. 100%. Blue states don't matter. It's battle states where it does. In many cases, it does. I think in many cases, you're right, Stephen. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. All right. Let's see here. I live in Salt Lake City and absolutely no one is away from a pharmacy. Yes, absolutely. 20 minutes if I walk to CVS. I love that. Very good. Absolutely. Very good. All right. So I keep going. Cuomo must be sad that Trump lost. He can't run against him like he did in 2018. That's my point, Christopher. You've hit it perfectly. My point is he's still prepping it anyway because he has to run against Trump. He has to. If he doesn't run against Trump, he can't get enough New Yorkers to vote for him, right? He might actually have a problem. And if you look at what happened in New York State, Democrats only got about, 58, 60%, 58, 59% of the vote, right? They still won by about 1 million, but it was way more in 2018 and way more than that in 2016. So yeah, still, I mean, it's big. It's big. So came back from Mexico yesterday and nobody there had COVID-19, big hype. I think you can find it. I mean, I think you can deal with it. I think you can, right? I think you can deal with it. It isn't the end of the world. As I said, it is a health issue. It's just not Armageddon and it's not nothing. The nuance you may talk about is exactly what we're talking about. It is a nuanced answer. It absolutely is. Yes. Got my flu shot at Walmart. Spent some money while I was there too. Yes. And Walmart knows that. One of the reasons why they give flu shots away, right? If you're going to be in Walmart, you probably want something. Drop a couple bucks at Walmart. They're happy. Life is good. Absolutely. 100%. Yep. I'm very rural. I can drive drugs for 20 minutes. 100%, guys. This is crazy that we even think that. It's crazy that we can even think that. 100%. Let's see here. Give the respect given. So he is 46. This is a point I want to bring up too, right? I would like Democrats and Republicans both to not be what they called each other. Republicans said that Democrats been fighting Trump since day one, blah, blah, blah. Then don't do that to Biden. Don't become what you said. Democrats said, oh, Republicans were jerks. They were nasty and mean. Then don't be what you said the other guy is, right? Don't be that guy. Instead, or gal, guy or gal. Don't be that person. There we go. Don't be that person, right? If you think Republicans were mean and nasty, then don't be mean and nasty when you're in charge. If you think Democrats are trying to get rid of Trump the whole time, don't try to get rid of Biden. Try to actually make something work. They lost lots of viewers to Newsmax. Newsmax, OAN, yes, that is a concern. I see Newsmax advertisements all the time. Absolutely, right? So Fox is in trouble. and they know they are. So they got to figure out what's the right step now, right? What is the right step? So, all right. People don't seem to understand the more government controls, the more politicized our potential crisis. Yes, absolutely. Or they are totally on board for it. It's terrifying for any rational person. I agree completely. Yes. I prefer Biden for several reasons. Trump had 4 years to come up with something to say about healthcare. Obamacare can't be replaced with nothing. I like Joseph modeling Indiana. This is a valid point, right? And this is my point I brought up earlier. Where the Republicans failed miserably is in actually speaking to healthcare. They didn't at all. At all. Now, you might, so someone who's a Trump supporter might say, well, no, he was gonna, or he said. It didn't land. Whatever Republicans said, it did not land. It did not land at all. If it was communicated, it was communicated poorly. It didn't work. What most people think is Republicans have no plan, which means Republicans have no plan. Because even if they do, if people think they don't, they might as well not. So they have no plan. Their plan is Obamacare bad. That's not a plan when people are afraid. You're totally right, Kay. That's not a plan. It is a problem. It really is a problem. I want to punch Tucker so bad. I hear people say that all the time. Yes, absolutely. I hear it all the time. Yes. Bring home the troops. I completely agree. Absolutely. Yes. There's the other part. How many registered voters have left New York City? A lot. A lot. You're going to see New York City lose at least 200,000 people this year. That's a lot of bodies. They're not coming back. They're not coming back. It's a problem. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for this evening. I appreciate you spending an hour with me today. I hope it was entertaining and interesting. I hope you liked it and you got some good feedback. And maybe you can steal some cool comments. I appreciate it. Guys, please, again, as always, like, comment, share. Support the show if you can. $5, $10, $15, $25, whatever you can do is all good. You can put your own number in if you want to. All good if you want to. And of course, head over to the advocates.org. Take the test. It's the smallest political quiz and share it with your friends. I will see you all tomorrow.